Well, the adventure to New York officially begins. I would have vlogged sooner, but there wasn't enough light because we were underway at 10 to 5. So my mom and I are now about to board our plane. I'm gonna call it a plane. Pretty sure that the two of us together are an entire aisle. So I'll check in again later. So we've safely landed in Montreal at the airport here, which is gigantic. That's my mom trying to FaceTime.
Hi.
And we have a 3.5 hour wait until we can get on a flight down to New York. So we're gonna go get some Burger King. So after 10 hours of traveling, we have finally made it to our hotel room. Our hotel room happens to have quite the remarkable view. I'll give you a little peek here. That out there, it's actually Times Square. We literally overlook the epicenter of the city. So I'll take you on a quick little tour. This is where I'm sleeping. Living room. Sink. Bathroom. And then that's where my mom is.
Hi there.
In the birthday girl suite. That's what we're gonna call it. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna show my mom around Times Square, taking a couple of the sights, and then we're gonna go grab some supper before we're going to see Sting's musical, The Last Ship, tonight. So, peace out.
As the miller told his tale, and that her face at first just ghostly.
So it is day 2. We are considerably more rested, and we are now going to go check out the sights of New York. Yesterday was mainly travel, so we didn't really do anything other than go see Sting's musical, The Last Ship, which we both thought was really good, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, Mom really liked it. It was like being in Ireland, which is kind of like being in Newfoundland, I guess, or at least St. John's. So now we're going to go do some sightseeing, so expect to get slammed with a lot of photos in this video. And we're back, so let's play a game. It's called Guess Where Kyle and Mom Are Now. Here's your first clue.
But I wander through my playing cards and would not let
Thing you should know, just to get access to the pedestal, you had to book 3 months in advance. If you want to go into the crown, you can't access the torch anymore. But we got into the pedestal anyway, and the pedestal's about halfway up and we nearly died for how steep the slopes are. So we're going to take a look around the museum.
they might just as well been closed as so
So, the next time anyone complains about Fredericton Bridge traffic, yeah, we're on a bus. The bus got stopped, not by traffic, but a parade. Before the parade, yeah, that song, yeah. We had to travel 1 block, where we are now, and cross over here, Mom. And it took 25 minutes to go 1 city block. Insane. But, you know, I guess that's what life is like in a proper city. So now we're gonna head back to Times Square, grab supper, and go see Wicked. So one short addendum to the post I just made. I always recommend when people come to New York to use the hop-on, hop-off bus tour, because you can find a bit something interesting and then just hop off and go see it, and you have 40 hours for it to expire. You also usually get a lot of really great characters that are typical New Yorkers who will tell you about the different areas, all with different personalities. We had a wonderfully flamboyant gay Jewish man this morning tell us all about all the old Hollywood stars and where they used to stay. The tour guide we just had, when he was talking, which is very rarely, decided to tell us about the genius nature through which Osama bin Laden burned down the Twin Towers. Cheery. How do we get out? So, we have just gone back to the hotel after a very long day of a lot of walking, and after seeing Wicked. Now, this was my second time seeing Wicked, and it was my mom's second Broadway show, so now it's pop quiz for mom time. Mom, Which show did you like better and why?
I mean, I liked both of them.
Okay.
I like the first one because it's the first one I've ever seen.
Right.
And I like the type of music.
Mm-hmm.
I like the second one because it pulls at the heartstrings and it was so extravagant.
Which one did you think had better singing in it?
It's such a different type of singing in both of them.
Well, which was your preference? Like, if you had to pick which type of singing you like better?
I would have to say Wicked
Wicked, why?
because it tugs at the heartstrings.
Okay. Which one do you think had the better... Okay, which one had the more relatable story?
The more relatable story would have been the last show.
Well, which had the better story, do you think?
I think the characters were more developed in Wicked.
Now,
Did I pass?
I should preface one thing. The Last Ship is currently in Broadway previews. Now, there's probably about 6 people that are going to watch this, and 4 of you know what previews are, but my rule is always to treat everyone like they're incredibly ignorant about it. So, the way a show works, someone comes up with an idea. They then do this thing which is called a workshop, where they throw together a couple small numbers and try to pitch it to investors to make them want to do it. So this is the way a typical show goes. They then do this thing which is called out-of-town tryouts, where they go to a smaller center. Toronto's becoming very popular for this. And they do the show, full-scale production, on a slightly more limited budget than obviously you get with a Broadway show. If it does well then it can transfer to Broadway. But when it goes to Broadway, first it goes into what's called previews. Now, in previews, you are understanding that the show hasn't technically opened yet, and that things can change. So, Wicked is obviously a finished product that's been around for 11 years, whereas The Last Ship only entered previews on Tuesday. So, we know for a fact that since Tuesday, there have been changes in the show already, because songs that were in the program, which were printed, I'm assuming, probably on Monday, were not in the show that we saw, and the order of a couple of the songs was flipped around. So they are obviously making some changes as they go. Now, from my perspective, I really enjoyed The Last Ship because it was so different. It wasn't you couldn't really put it in your typical musical box, as it were. But I found it kind of strange because there was no standard at all. Like, we didn't walk away humming any particular song, and I could only tell you the name of one song in the entire show, and it's the title track, so that's not really fair. But I'm always surprised with Wicked. When I saw Wicked the first time, I really didn't want to go, and I really didn't think I was going to like it, and then I kind of sobbed my way through it, but I also only had 2 hours of sleep, and I was feeling very emotional that day anyway, so I'm going to go with that's probably part of it. But I came tonight not really expecting to be wowed again, and the girl who played Elphaba, she could, like, blow. Like, she just, like, sings like crazy, and it also didn't hurt that the girl who's doing Glinda was doing an Anna Faris impersonation as if House Bunny was Glinda, so that was kind of fun. And Mary Testa, who is only really known by a couple people really that I know, but she's the girl who does the Evil Woman from Xanadu. She played Madame Morrible, which is the non-singing character, so she's funny, but didn't really sing. So anyway, that was the review, and we're going to go to bed, and then tomorrow is Fleetwood Mac, so bye.
Shade of